2021 and 2022 when I won the best hip hop artist of the year. Like it was a crazy story, you know. It was a crazy story. Like literally, we had to escape normally to come to Juba to attend the awards because my pops wasn't happy with that. Like he didn't want me to do that, so we had to escape to come and attend the show. And surprisingly, that night I won. Like
Neecee Lexy, unleash the power of your creativity. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Neecee Lexy live interview. Today we have the one and only South Sudanese rapper from Numili, South Sudan. He is the one and only DME Young King. Without further ado, I just wanted to be able to introduce him and get to know more about his career as a rapper, as well as some of the exciting things that he's working on. And also for those who are tuning into our live interview today, make sure to also at the end of the video to follow his social media, to also engage with him and also follow his music career. Without further ado, I would love for all of us to welcome the one and only DME Young King. How are you doing, sir?
I'm all good, thanks.
Awesome. So first of all, the name is very unique. Obviously, it's not your government name, but I just wanted to know, what is that name all about? How did you even come about it? Let's just start with the name.
Actually, DME might be a hidden acronym for my real government names. Actually,
Okay.
it's a little bit of a twist. DME stands for Ding Malang Ezekiel, like my original names.
Nice. Awesome. So Deng Maleng, or DME Young King, can you tell us more about who you are, what you do, for those who are basically watching you for the first time, especially our Canadian audience or some of them that in Europe? Can you let us know more about what you do and who you are as a person, and then we can get into the music thing?
Actually, once again, my stage name is DME Young King. But most of my friends know me as Sebeding Malang. I come from a small town that's normally within South Sudan, and currently living in Juba. This is where I'm working. And yeah, I'm a simple guy, hardworking, loving, caring. Yeah, that's me though. Yeah.
That's amazing. So how did you get into the music? Were you inspired by somebody, or how did you get into becoming like a rapper? Like, how was that story started?
Actually, actually becoming a rapper was more of being inspired by my cousin. You know, growing up and looking up to him. Like big shout out to JK. He's the one that inspired me into the rap. But I've been listening to like a lot of rappers like Biggie Smalls, rest in peace, Tupac, 50 Cent. You know, the big names in the industry. So they had a great impact on me. Yeah, that's where it all, like the whole inspiration started from, and that was way back 2014, 2015.
Amazing. So how long you been
Yeah.
rapping?
I started originally rapping after my senior four, which is 2018. That's
Yeah.
when I started becoming serious with rap. So roughly it's been 5 years now.
Okay. And would you say music was always like in the family, but you just never tap into it?
Now it's something that has been in the family actually, because if you look up, my aunt is a local artist, by the way. She does this local singing and stuff. Yeah, my great grandfather was also good at it, and my uncle is actually good at it. And when you look at the other side of my, like my cousin, like he's really good. Like they had this famous thing called Little Doves that was very famous around 2005 when Dr. John had just led home into independence. So he was in that group, and that's why I started like to fall in love more with like what he was doing, because those kids in that era, they were the most famous like group ever, like in South Sudan. So, and my cousin was part of that. So to me, I took it as something personal and big inspiration.
That's really amazing. I love that, music is not only within the family, but it's in the blood. Talent run deeps.
Sure, sure,
That's
sure. It ran deep though.
That's really cool. So, I know you have your latest single, which is the Calculated Risk. Can you tell us about that particular song and how did you even come about the name and everything?
Calculator is a record that I'm forever grateful. I had that single because when I came to Juba, I came for school and I came to hustle because I'm not from a privileged background. So when I was in Juba, when you're new in a city, like it's a lot that you go through, especially when you don't have people around that you can depend on. So I was in a small house and I had just to think about what my life in the city here because I see life is getting hard and stuff like that. So I had to take calculated risk. To me, I call it a calculated one because if I never thought about it and calculated my moves, I think Juba would have swallowed me whole. So one day I was just in the studio and the producer just played the beat and he was like, I feel you on this beat. I was like, what? He was like, yeah. So I was like, let me do some on that. So it just came like that. The whole how life for me within Juba in that period of time. That's what inspired the song Calculated Risks.
Amazing. It's really good that, it has a lot of deeper meaning, obviously, with anything that you do in life,
Yeah.
there's gonna be like tribulations, there's gonna be hard times, but as long as you have plan and agenda, you can always, what's it called, progress. And I feel like that title itself is the
Okay.
calculated risk. It's like, yes, everything is risky. Business is risky, but we still do it, right?
Yeah, yeah. True.
Yeah. So for you as a young artist, obviously, as a young artist, what are some strategy do you work on to make sure that like your craft is authentic and whenever like you release a project, it's like, okay, this is exactly how I want to release it. What does that strategy look like?
Like I always first look at the radio tours, and then I look at the premieres, and then I look at how do you call it? I look at like having a team to give me like having me a team that will get like a good music video that most people will relate to. So when I'm to release a song, I always make sure that my team has already put together a radio tour, and maybe I can go like maybe 6 to 5 radio stations, and all we're doing is talking about the song, and then having my team like advertising it on Facebook and other medias, yeah,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Yeah.
That's really amazing. So, what would you say, since you've been rapping since 2018, what would you say is one of your most memorable moment? And you're like, wow, like I actually dig this. Like I could do this for life.
That's between 2021 and 2022 when I won the best hip hop artist of the year. Like it was a crazy story. It was a crazy story. Like literally we had to escape normally to come to Juba to attend the awards because my pops wasn't happy with that. Like he didn't want me to do that. So we had to escape to come and attend the show. And surprisingly that night I won. Like that was the that was the best. Like I can never forget that time. And when I came back home to Numli, everyone was happy. Even my pops and moms, they was very happy for me. Like we even had to take a picture with them. Like I was like, oh my god, like he's done.
Calculated risk, right?
For sure, it was a calculated one. Yeah,
That's
for
really amazing.
sure,
Congratulations
for
on that.
sure.
That's a big moment for sure.
I appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate. So that was my best moment.
Amazing. And I hope you have more moment in the future that you can celebrate more and take more pictures with your parents.
It's a blessing.
So I know also like recently, let's say during the pandemic, a lot of artists found it really hard to either release a music video or do like project just because people were like so isolated and then you're not allowed to also
Yeah.
out. How were you able to like stay the course and making sure that your craft is not like put into sideline, but you're still producing things during those times?
Actually, during that time, the producer, like the studio, was always close to home, so
Mhm.
I always had this thing that every evening I went to the studio and I just kept like doing freestyles and a couple of songs. During the pandemic, I was one that I recorded almost an album, and
Mhm.
I was planning to release that album, but unfortunately, the hard drive crashed with everything, and we lost that whole data.
Oh wow.
So perfecting my craft, but that still, yeah, it's worth it though.
Wow. That is really like,
Yeah.
as a creator, as a content creator, I can't imagine doing an interview and then that file get lost. That would crush me.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Actually, when I lost those projects, I went in a state whereby I felt like what had let me down, and I went too heavy on myself. So that whole year, I was like, I'm not gonna do anything. So the whole of 2020, I didn't even release any single song. I wasn't seen nowhere. I wasn't on any poster. Not nothing. Like literally, I literally went ghost
Mhm.
on everything. I felt so bad, and I started having these anxieties at night, that catch up to me. But then this year I was like, no,
Yeah.
ain't no sleeping.
And how were you able to like kind of recover and be like, okay, after that incident, obviously it will crush you. And I'm not gonna be honest, there's a lot of moments in within your like your career journey, it's gonna be like, okay, this is really hard. Like I put all these efforts, all this file like gone, what the hell? So how were you able to be like, okay, you know what? It is what it is. Let's get back to business. What was that moment like?
Actually, I had given up. Like honestly, I cannot lie. I gave up for the first time in my life. But then, big shout out to my friends.
Mhm.
They literally had to talk me out every day. They would call and check on me. They would call and advise me, motivate me,
Mhm.
and they never got tired. Like literally, they did it the whole year. They were doing that.
Mhm.
And I'm so happy that these are the same friends. When I told them about Calculator, imagine Calculator was recorded in 2022, but because I felt like I was in this state whereby I couldn't believe in myself no more, so
Mhm.
I didn't release the song. The song was just there in the studio.
Mhm.
And then when I felt like I was more motivated by my friends, I told them, yo, I have this project. So if you guys are down with it, then yeah, we can work on it, and
Mhm.
I will release it, and we see how 2023 welcomes it. And so we went in the studio, listened to the track, they felt it, everything was right. Then we got for the video. The same friends
Mhm.
got me the radio tour, got me the video, and they got me a couple of shows to perform on.
Mhm.
And I cannot say it was easy that in the first place though, but it was kind of tough. Like being back on the camera, I was nervous.
But I'm glad you made that comeback though.
For sure, man. I always think that whatever that doesn't kill you, man, there's a way it makes you stronger. That's for sure. You
Mhm.
just always have to come back like stronger and better.
Yeah, and that's really beautiful to, to have like such a strong supportive team around you, and like your friends rally for you, because a lot of people out here don't have that friends that would kind of like cheer them and kind of like guide them through tough time. But I'm
Oh,
really glad to hear that your friends are the one kind of rally behind your music career and making sure that your voice is
sure.
heard not only in Juba but right now here in Canada as well. So
Appreciate.
So that's really amazing. Keep pushing, keep going through. And one thing I know you mentioned earlier, one of your biggest influence in the music industry is Tupac, 50 Cent, I believe. How did these people influence you in a way that you're like, okay, this rap game is for me? Was it like their lyric? Was it their style? Was it like the fame? What inspired you to like be like, oh yeah, these are actually good guys?
Actually, I was doing literature in my high school. I was doing literature, so
Mhm.
and I fell in love with poetry. So and there's that side of there's that side of Tupac that he's a very good poet. Like most of his stuff is just too much of poetry. And then what I came to love more was with Biggie Smalls. He had this kind of flow that was full of rhyme, you know. And in poetry, like we do a lot of rhymes. And I was just like, this is so nice.
Mhm.
Someone can put this on a beat and it can flow like this. Nah, I'm finna jump on this. Yeah, so it was just their craft actually that I fell in love with, how they flow, the rhymes, and the lyrics too. They were just, they were all motivating and yeah.
That's amazing. So for you as an artist, when you're creating, obviously, rap, as you said, has rhyme and is part of poetry. When you're creating your music or writing your music, what is that process like? Are you relating it mostly to like stories within your life, or are you just kind of like you go somewhere and you be inspired, like, oh yeah, this actually could be really good? Or do you just go to the studio, listen to the beat, and be like, all right, I got a song? Like, how is that thought process for you?
For me, I believe that I have too many stories within me that if someone just jumps on me and says, "Hey, here's a beat, do something," at that point there, I won't even take 30 minutes to pour out something. Because to me, I feel like there's a lot of story in me that I have to tell, and it all just comes in. But most of the times, I have to be inspired by something. It can be a mood, it can be a flashback, yeah, stuff like that. But mainly, I always have that in me. I can just be seated, let's say anywhere, and then whatever I want to, like I just start singing in my head. I just start singing in my head, and I'll be like, okay, okay, I'll give up. I just get my phone and I just start writing.
That's really good. Yeah, I heard a couple of rappers like in the industry, they do like write all their song in their phone. And I think Drake being one of them. So like always like writing it. And he's always releases songs that are like lovey dovey, even though it's hip hop, rap. So
Yes.
are we gonna expect a lot of these from you as well? Or more like a hard
Actually, uh, uh, in the country right now, most of the youth are so much in love with drill music.
Yeah.
I'm more of a rapper. Like I'm more a rapper. I love to inspire people with my story because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that they can relate to the same as me. But
Yeah.
then at the moment, you always have to go with the trend. You feel me?
Yeah.
You just have to go with the trend. So lately, I found myself this year just doing drill, and I've been
Mhm.
doing it. But I feel like my drill is different because instead of giving people that kind of vibe they want, I'm always still preaching. I'm
Yeah.
still preaching in my drills.
So DME, if you
Yes,
could describe yourself in 3 words, what would that be?
in 3 words:
Yeah.
loyal, solid, and caring.
Awesome. So that's a good one. So and then also for somebody who wants to become a rapper like you and wanted to be resilient and kind of thrive in this music industry, whether they're in Juba, Kampala, or Nairobi, whatever, what is 3 message that you can leave for them today to be able to take it from your personal experience that you can give these young up and coming artists?
Yeah, one I would say that persistence. Yeah,
Mm,
the industry is like you can't just wake up one day and then you just blow like that. No, I just make it like that. No, you're like you're just gonna be persistent. Like just keep doing work, more work, and like never resting. You don't have to rest until you see where you are visioning yourself. That's where you are.
mm,
Number two, I would say always believe in yourself. Like there ain't nobody that's gonna be there for you if it's not you. Like the first step of this is just believe in yourself. Like I'm telling you, the industry has a lot of people that are gonna exploit you, a lot of people that will just use you for their gain and purposes. But then if you always believe in yourself, there's more that you can achieve than what someone else wants for you. Number three, I would talk about having that love to support others too. Like literally, there's no, like, one hand can't clap itself, so you need more hands to clap. So you always have to also like help others so that at the end of the day, all of you are winning, and with all of us are winning, it's for the greater good. So those three things, I think they can get you going.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for dropping that knowledge. And I hope a lot of you young hip hop artists or rappers who wanted to be in the industry, you guys can take some of these learning lesson, and also make sure to follow him on social media. Regarding social media, where can we find you, and where can we basically follow you and things like that?
On Facebook, you can follow me at DME Young King. Audio Mark, you can follow me at DME Young King. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at DME Young King. And very soon, my team is working on getting my music on Spotify and and Apple Music. So anytime soon, when that is out, still at DME Young King.
Awesome. So thank you, DME Young King, for being here today. It was such a lovely time to have with you, and also get to know your music career experience and all that. And I hope a lot of the young audience who are listening in and tapping in, they get to learn something about you and also follow your journey and support it. Without further ado, I just want to say, thank you so much for coming by.
I really appreciate it. And shout out to you too, because you be doing so much. And your show has really helped a lot of upcoming artists within this side. I don't know if you know that, but most of them have just been helped so much with what you're doing. And like literally, if anyone can give back to that credit to you, because you're doing the most. And we really appreciate
Thank you.
doing that for us.
And
Yeah, just keep doing you.
All right. I said, and continue rocking it. Maybe one day when I come to Juba, I'll personally do another interview with you.
For sure, why not? We can sit at the riverside.
For sure, for sure. All right, have a great one.
You too.
I'm on it, I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play out